G'day cruisers, it's Beachy here, and I thought I'd do an install on my latest ride, which is a BMW R18 Transcontinental, and I'm going to put some pannier protection bars on it. So let's get right into it, and we'll see how this thing looks when we're all finished. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is open up the top box and remove these little grommets. I've actually removed them all earlier, and undo these 4 bolts here just to loosen off the top box. Now we just need to move that back a little bit so that we've got access to the seat bolt at the back. Okay, so with the top box moved back a bit, you've got just enough room in there to get onto the bolt. I've already undone this one, so we'll pull him out, and then you can loosen the seat off and move the seat a little bit out the road. You don't have to pull the seat all the way out, so slide it, and the reason being we need to access this bolt down here for the brackets. Okay, the next step is to open up the pannier, and we're going to take these 2 bolts out here. So there's a Torx bit down in there, and one over on that side there. We'll take those out completely, and then the pannier will come loose. We'll just get this bolt undone. Okay, now if you haven't got Torx drivers, you're going to need a set of metric Torx drivers for BMWs, because they don't use normal Allen keys. Okay, so once that's done, okay, close that up again, and as you can see, the pannier is loose and you can lift it out the way. Now what I recommend doing is actually cutting that clip there and that clip there. You can actually put new ones in afterwards, and moving this all the way around to this side here, put on a bit of padding, bit of protection just to protect it, and that should be all you need on this side. Next thing we need to do is undo that screw and that screw, and take this cover off to give us access to a mounting point just down underneath that the passenger's footrest. So let's just whack that in there. Alright, so now we need to take that bolt out, that one there, and those 2 there, for this bracket to mount on. So with all the bolts out, then you can mount this bar up in place. I'd start probably by putting the bolt under the seat in first. That'll hold everything in place, and then you're going to have to do a little bit of manipulation to get the back bolts in, because there will be a little bit of tension on the exhaust and maybe on the bar, just to fit it all in place. And then when it comes down to this at the front, you have a spacer to put in, but you also need to change the length of the bolts. Now I don't have Torx drive bolts, I've only got some Allen head bolts, but you're looking about another 12mm longer. Okay, so you can see there the spacer is in between the bracket and the frame, and then it's just now a matter of doing up all the bolts, doing them up tight. You can see down there that the spacer is behind the bracket, and then the bolt in there, and the top bolt's in the seat compartment. So just a matter of tightening them all up now. And I've actually started all the threads before I started the video, so it'd make it a little bit easier. And then it's just these here to do up now. And I've used the original bolts that were there because there was heaps of thread on them, and the 4mm or 6mm that is taken out is not going to have any big effect on it. Finally, you need to tighten up these back bolts. I actually started these threads to make sure that they're all in there before I tightened all the others up. And it's a smart thing to do. You don't go tightening things up and then hope it's all going to fit together. You leave the bolts loose and then do them up from there. So once you've got that all bolted in and tightened up, you can actually replace these cable tie clips. It's just a matter of taking the ones that you've cut out. And because they've been in place so long, they can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Thread a new one through. Right. And just leave it sit there like that until you put the pannier back in place. So lock that lid. And now I'll try and lift this up and put it all in there and hold the camera at the same time. So hard after all. Okay, so before you tighten it down, I'd probably recommend doing these up. Just have to find out if everything's in the right spot. So you want to make sure that these clips here are sitting down flush. That there sort of looks like it needs to be sitting down there, but it doesn't want to go down. I think it's supposed to be underneath there, and it's not. So I'll have to have a look and see if I can reorganise that. So I kind of stuffed up here. I should have been videoing tightening up the seat, but I missed that bit. So you've got to make sure that the seat's located in the tongue is located in the slot at the front, and you set the bolt up at the back and tighten it down. Once that's all done, then you can go around to the side and start putting the panniers in. Bolts back in, and that will hold everything all in place there and tighten them all up. Next thing we do is we put in the exhaust cover back on. Make sure you line it all up. There's the bolt on that side and that one there. It can be a bit of a pain to put in. Wrong one. Okay, that's all that done. And last but not least, we need to reattach our top box. So we need to get these bolts lined up, which is probably going to be the hardest part of all, because you're working from the top and you can't see the holes underneath, but let's see how we go. Okay, so after a little bit of juggling and a little bit of fiddling, I've managed to get these all lined up. Once again, I'd highly recommend you doing them all up hand tight first, or get the thread started first, then do them up hand tight before you tighten them all down, just so that you know you're not cross threading it, because the last thing you want to do is cross thread these things. Okay, they're all done up hand tight. Now I can tighten it with the ratchet and put the plugs back in. So we'll tighten one. They don't have to be over tight, but they've got to be tight enough not to come out, and then just push that in and away you go. And last thing is put in the liner, and need to get the vacuum cleaner in there, I think. And that's it, all done. And that's it in a nutshell. A bit of extra protection there, because these things are heavy bastards. They're heavy bikes, very heavy bikes. With me sitting on it, it's about a half a tonne, and I'm not that heavy. I think it's about 427 kilos, but that should be quite comfortable for pillion as well. Let's have a look. Not that I'm going to be a pillion, but yep, they don't affect me at all. Shit, this is a nice pillion seat. Maybe I might get Anne to ride this one. I hope this has helped a few of you who are going to put these things on your bike. It's not that big a job, but you do need a few Torx bits to do the job. I'll probably write down in the description what sizes you're going to need, but I got myself just a small set like that from the local Repco store. For those of you in America, it's just like a parts store, tool store type of thing for mechanics and cars. Yeah, once you've done that, and just remember, make sure your threads are all started by hand before you do them up, and tighten them according to specifications if you have them. If you don't have specifications, make sure they're tight but not over tight. There is a lot of alloy on these things, so you've got to be very careful about them. The only thing you need for that is what is it, about a 6mm by 1.0mm thread bolt with a fairly decent sort of a head on it, like a domed head, and that'll go down in the bottom footrest bracket. But yeah, if you like this video, maybe think about subscribing to the channel. I'll try and update a few more videos. It's been a while since I've added some motorbike videos. Yeah, hit the like, and yeah, tell your friends. I'll catch you later. Bye now.